Simulation games have been around for decades, providing gamers with hours of entertainment that may actually help them in their real lives. But it seems that in recent years they're starting to run out of things to make simulation games about, so they're now resorting to more, how should I put this, interesting ideas. So today I wanted to count down my picks for the top 10 dumbest simulation games. Have you ever wanted a game that will help you with your skills of having tea with a teddy bear? Because that's basically the entire premise of Tea Party Simulator 2015. Now, some may have been led to believe that having a tea party is a simple job, but this game says otherwise, with even the simplest task being extremely difficult to pull off. The game relies on a purposely horrible control scheme to ramp up the difficulty while trying to serve tea and biscuits to your teddy bear companion, making this a perfect spiritual successor to the already hugely popular Surgeon Simulator. So if you find the notion of pouring beverages into cups and slicing cake exciting, this game may just be for you. When I was first told that someone had created a bread simulation game, I just assumed that it would be yet another Surgeon Simulator clone like Tea Party, where the player must cut and butter a piece of toast while dealing with a crazy control scheme. But I was pleasantly surprised when I found out that there are no humans in this game, but rather you play as the bread itself. I Am Bread has you controlling a slice of, well, bread, while navigating a variety of different environments and avoiding anything in your path that may ruin or destroy you, all to achieve the goal of becoming toast. Albeit a dumb premise, I Am Bread is the only game on this list that I would say is actually fun enough to try out for yourself. For years there has been the ongoing trope where a character in a movie or TV show complains about trying to put together IKEA furniture, and this all stems from the fact that the massively successful Swedish store is known to make furniture that's a pain in the neck to put together. So what would be more fun than to turn this tedious activity into video game form? That's right, now you can experience the joys of putting together furniture even if you don't need any. The game does this by having you open up boxes with all the parts, then you must move them around to put them together. Then when done with the task, another box is unlocked. I can't be too harsh on the game though, since it was made in a 48-hour game competition, but even with that being said, it's about as enjoyable to play as, well, putting together IKEA furniture. You know, I can get behind the idea of a game about firefighters or a game about airplanes, but I have to draw the line when those two things are tied together, which is the case for Airport Firefighters: The Simulation. It seems that these game devs have done just about every simulation game imaginable, and now they need to start combining them, which is the case for Airport Firefighters, where everything revolves solely around putting out fires at airports. And that's about all there is to it, just a firefighter sim that's restricted to one area, which is, unsurprisingly, a terrible idea. This list so far has an incredibly low amount of animal-related simulators on it, and while I could go with the obvious pick, I'll instead go with the soon-to-be-released Bear Simulator by Farjay Studios. The game will have the player foraging for food, sneaking into towns, and fighting other animals in this incredibly accurate depiction of the life of a bear. While this is just footage from the trailer, the game does look like it could be pretty fun, if you could do things like sneak around a town trying to steal food without humans catching you, but I'll just have to wait and see when it's officially released. While I have no interest in train or truck games personally, I can at least understand why other people enjoy them, since you actually control the vehicle. But the idea of a Ropeway Simulator is where I'm lost. All they do is go up and down mountains. The entire point of the game is to build ropeways up different locations, and the process of doing so is simply tedious. And not only that, but the game is really ugly for something that's being touted as a 2014 edition. There are PC games from 2004 that look as good, if not better than this. That's all I really have to say about Ropeway Simulator. It's boring, ugly, and I quite frankly can't wrap my head around who the target demographic of it is. Sometimes the term dumb is not strong enough to describe something sheer stupidity, and Rock Simulator is one of those cases. The title says it all. The game allows the player to roll a rock around a variety of environments. That's it. I can just hear the comments now. They'll say, "But that's the point of the game, it's supposed to be dumb, don't you get it?" Oh, I get it alright, I just don't find it funny. Back a year or two ago, it was enough to just come up with a ridiculous premise and slap simulator at the end of it to pull in sales. But as time went on, the ideas had to become more extreme and provocative to get attention. And that is where a game like Alcoholic Simulator comes into place. As the Steam Greenlight page reads, "Ever wanted to be an alcoholic? Yeah, me neither. Nevertheless, this is an accurate simulation about the life of an alcoholic with pretty poor motor skills. With an unlimited supply of beer and other booze, you'll never run dry in that area. But still, it's a race against the clock, as your body is used to metabolizing all that alcohol and you're sobering up quickly. What would happen if you sober up? You'd either have to pay up for that new liver or just keep drinking until the end of time." Even getting past the premise, Alcoholic Simulator is just another surgeon simulator type game with really bad controls to make it difficult when trying to grab a can of beer. And there's not much else to say about it other than that. To those of you who don't know, the official definition for a simulator is a machine with a similar set of controls designed to provide a realistic imitation of the operation of a vehicle, aircraft, or other complex system. I bring this up because the point of a simulation game is to simulate something done in real life. So as you can imagine, I was confused when I heard about Superhero Simulator. Naive me just assumed it was probably a generic superhero game that had simulator slapped on it to spike interest. But boy was I wrong. As you can probably tell, the main character doesn't control very well. In fact, nothing in this game works right. It looks like it was slapped together in a couple of hours and put online for my enjoyment. So yeah, it's not good. With every other pick on this list, their title is at least somewhat accurate to what the game portrays. But the thing about Grass Simulator is it has as much to do with grass as it does with cows or houses or shooting ranges. In fact, those other things are more deserving of the title because you actually interact with them, whereas the grass is just an asset on the ground. The game has the player walking around small areas with the ability to shoot cows and targets. That's it. Oh, and sometimes the cows go around in circles while dubstep music plays, because, you know, grass simulation. Now, if this was some free-to-play game, that would be one thing, but Grass Simulator actually exists on Steam and costs $10 to buy. That's the same price as Portal. So please, if you're considering buying Grass Simulator, just remember that you could get Portal, one of the most critically acclaimed games of all time, for the same price. Well, there you have my picks for the top 10 dumbest simulation games. And if you have any others that you think I forgot on this list, please feel free to leave them in a comment below. So until next time, thanks for watching.